see we're populating. Everybody come on in as you listen to the Sounds on Sounds. Recording artist, JP. We're going to have an awesome time in the truth session today. I see you all are coming on in. I see you, Elder Gibbs, KD. Hey, Aries. The teacher will appear. We're having an awesome time dealing with trauma. We're still going to be dealing with trauma again. We're going to talk a little bit more about trauma in terms of God and trauma in terms of how it affects you, how it affects your life, and how stress comes into that. Just in case you didn't know, and no one has ever shared with you, over 90% of the visits to the hospital, doctor's offices, are a result of stress. How many of you knew that? 90% of the doctor's visits is centered around stress. Because stress produces a chemical that causes problems, and we'll touch on that a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit. I see you, Sergeant at Arms, Kiana. Also, I just want to say this. Again, there is no more honor system, and I want to say this because it's very important for those of you that may be confiding people, tell people things that may or may not be damaging to you. But people will share your information. They will tell your information. And if someone is a real counselor, a real therapist, a real professional person, they're under a Hippocratic oath. They're under oath that they cannot tell your business, your private business, right? And that also goes for licensed professional persons that call themselves pastors. They're not supposed to tell your business. Licensed ministers are not supposed to divulge your personal information. You have a right to privacy. And I'm saying this for a reason, because a lot of stress and trauma is centered around what people do to other people. Hurting people hurt other people, right? Even if it's unintentional, you may not even think about even doing that, but it's very important for you to understand, because there's always more than one person involved in a given situation. And if that situation is centered around them being maybe molested, being maybe traumatized, abused, abandoned, there is other people that are involved that you don't understand, or you may not know what the circumstances are and why what happened actually happened, right? When you take counsel with the apostle, the prophet, when you take counsel with me, your information is guarded. You won't hear it anywhere else. I promise you that. There are high profile people that take counsel with me. You'll never know it. You'll never know who they are. You'll never know that they ever took counsel with me. Why? Because they reserve the right to privacy. right? And I'm saying this because it's important. Because if someone tells your business, there's a number of things that is going on. One is that they're deliberately trying to destroy you, condemn you, and or they consider themselves morally higher than you are. And so therefore they'll divulge your information. And I'm talking about this because it's very important, because I want to get into the church. I want to get into Christianity. I want to get into Islam, because Islam does the same thing. Orthodox, unorthodox, whatever it is, it does the same thing. It gets into the realm of condemnation. It doesn't get into the realm of judgment. It gets into the realm of condemnation. And there's a difference. And I'm going to put this out here in just a minute, the difference between judgment and condemnation. There's an uptick in people saying, well, you know what? Don't judge me. Well, no, you want me to do that. What you don't want me to do is condemn you. That's different. Okay? So, give me just a second here, fam. And we're just still trying to give ourselves an opportunity to populate. Those of you that may be coming in for the first time into the truth session, please let us know where you're hailing from so we can share this information with you. We can talk a little bit. We can share this energy. We can cast this web. Okay? So please do that for us, all right? Now, let me get back to what I'm saying about, there used to be a phrase that there was honor among thieves, where thieves honored one another, that they wouldn't steal from each other or be on each other's territory. There's no such thing today as honor. And I could say this because it's out in the public theater. I heard, and you know, I hear everybody going in on R. Kelly, and I think it's so unfair. I mean, to each his own, to each their own opinion. I mean, we all have one, right? But I think it's unfair. And I think it's unfair when people that have a platform, that what they can say could be very damaging. And what do I mean by that? I heard Minister Farrakhan say that R. Kelly did some bad things, right? Knowing that R. Kelly went in and took counsel, or you talked to R. Kelly, and then you come back out and then you say that. That's very unfair. That's hurting. That's intent to hurt. Because it doesn't put you in any great light that you said that. That doesn't make you morally greater than R. Kelly. And we continue to want to destroy each other. The very people that say that they are morally higher than everyone else are the very ones that hurt someone, because they're so morally right and so morally into what they believe and how they think. And they are just as deceived and programmed as anyone else. And I'm talking about that because it's very important, because let me tell you something about religion and spirituality. Religion and spirituality is not the same. And then there's this uptick in the church who's always condemning someone. There's an uptick, this new age movement, this new age. What are you talking about, new age? You mean that people are coming from under the spell of the church that is working witchcraft? As you was talking about everyone else is working witchcraft, you're working witchcraft. And it can be very easily proven that you're working witchcraft. And this is very important. This must be understood. Nation of Islam, same way. Working with a spirit of control and authority, and will not allow people to be free to express the God consciousness that they have. I told you we're going to talk about it. A topic for today is going to be God and the trauma centered around it. God and the trauma centered around it. You know, normally when you start talking about God, you start talking about church, you know, I'm not going to let you talk about God. I'm not going to let you denigrate God. You're blaspheming. When you really begin to understand who God is and get introduced to God, you're going to be excited. However, first you're going to be angry and mad and pissed off because you've been lied to, you've been deceived. And I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking from just a standpoint of research, but I'm talking from experience. Religion, check this out. Religion is a secondhand experience, which means one takes on another's experience as their own. Religion is a second-hand experience. And you all, while we're broadcasting to Facebook, we're simultaneously Instagram. We're broadcasting to Instagram. I got so much information in my head, I'm so full. I'm settling my energy down because I don't want to give this to you all jumbled up. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Dr. Lindsay. Okay. Religion. Stress, hurt. Out of all, and I was just talking about R. Kelly, out of all that R. Kelly did, he is brought to a place where he cannot project himself beyond the stain that is being superimposed upon him. Why? Because religion is a very horrible thing. Religion has within it condemnation, and we're going to get to that. But religion is a secondhand experience, which means one takes on another's experience as their own, which means that the church is forever trying to take on the experience of Jesus Christ. They cannot have their own experience because they're too busy trying to take on Jesus Christ's experience, which you'll never be able to take on. And someone needs to tell you the truth that that individual has never existed. Herein lies your problem with that. When you get to churchianity and Christianity, and when you get to Islam, especially unorthodox Islam, like the Nation of Islam, the biggest problem that you're going to run into, and I would love for you to have a conversation with me because we're not going to debate. People debate when you don't have proper information to substantiate your facts. So you do that by yourself. But let me say this to you. The problem for the church and for the Nation of Islam, because Nation of Islam, y'all at fault too, man. Y'all ain't doing them that you so righteous. And that has to be said. See, your problem is this little hook right here. Let me get down in my good voice. This little hook right here. That's where your problem lies. You cannot, in good faith, continue to use this name. You cannot. Why? Because there is no letter J where? In the what? In the Hebrew, right? There's no letter J in the Greek, right? No, in the Arabic. There's no letter J. And you can go on in other languages as well. There is no letter J. Right? There is no letter J. Therein lies your dilemma. That there is no letter J in the Hebrew. Let's just take the Hebrew for first, right? In the Hebrew, there is no letter J. So, the last I checked, wasn't the person that you're calling, J-E-S-U-S, a Hebrew? Right? Or some say Jew, right? In good faith, you can't even use that word, Jew. And I'm getting at this because there's trauma centered around God. When you get to God, there is so much trauma. People are so traumatized, and then they're so disillusioned that they're in a place of non and false reality. And they're trying to make a thing reality when it'll never be. It'll always be fantasy. It'll always be fantasy. And I just need you to hear me. And once you hear me, you can make a good judgment. I don't mind you judging me. That's fine. I see you, Marvin. Hey, Tammy, you can judge me. I don't mind. Because if you judge me, you're going to find that those are facts that he is speaking. So then, there is no such word as Jew because therein lies your problem. The J. You see that letter right there? That little hook? That J? That tells me that you're lying. You need to know that you're prevaricating. Let me use a euphemism. You're prevaricating. Right? Because there's never been anyone that existed by this term called Jew. Isn't that something? See? Now. Okay. See, again, herein lies your problem. Make sure that they can see. I'm trying to make sure they can see that on Instagram. Again, herein lies your problem. That little thing right there. Hey, Miss Nelly. That little thing right there called the J. You can't argue with anybody about that. You can't confute anybody about that. It is a fact that there is no letter J in the Hebrew, the Greek, the Akkadian, the Arabic, etc., etc. You can just keep on naming it. It wasn't a J. So now, this person, 2,000 years ago, right, walked on the face of the what? The earth. Presumably, right? Right? No, yes, maybe. Indifferent? Not with this. Not with this letter J, right? Okay, so now y'all can put that out on the timeline and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Please, I'm just trying to figure out where we at with this. I need y'all to talk to me. Let's use the talk back system. Y'all know how we do this. We talk back, right? Okay, now, so then if there was no letter J, and the letter J didn't come to up in about around 500 years ago, then it couldn't have been a J. If this didn't arrive into the English language until what? Until almost 500 years ago.
Couldn't have been.
So it couldn't have been one of these right there. So you're lying or you're prevaricating. I've got to get to this. This is why I'm telling you that when you get to God, it's trauma everywhere. God is traumatizing everybody. You can say what you want to say, but I'm not blaspheming. I'm getting ready to give you some truth. See, the last time I checked, according to the faith of the Christian, the truth, if you know it, it'll make you free. That's in one rendition. And then the other one said, if you know the truth will set you free. Right? The truth will. So that means then the truth is the only thing that has the propensity and the ability and the creativity to make you what? Free in your thought processes. It is free in your mind. That's what the truth does. The truth free up your mind to think for your what? Yourself. Religion is controlling. I'll say this again. Religion is controlling. What does it do? It controls your thoughts. It controls your thoughts. It tells you what to think. And if you don't think like that, you're going to get punished. Guess what's going to happen? Fire. Fire is going to get you. You're going to burn in fire. Fire's going to burn you up. Oh, wait a minute. You just put that down in my thoughts? You just use what? Fear. You just put fear down in my what RAM? Theta RAM. Oh my God. For those of you that don't know what the Theta RAM is, you need to research it, study it. You can go back and listen to some of the sessions. And you can get it. Let me give you a real quick description here. I got it somewhere here. It's in my notes. Give me just a second. Let me read that real quick for you because I want that in your ear gates. And I'll probably post it out here too. Master teacher isn't here today. He normally does my posting. Let me pull my documents up. Documents. Here we go. Okay. Because now, we're going to get into something here real quick in just a few minutes. Because see, I'm going to stop these pastors from talking shit. Because that's all they're talking, shit. And I'm going to prove it to you. Not only that, but they're lying to you. They are prevaricators. Now, fear. If you don't believe, like I tell you to believe, you're going to where? Hell. You're going to hell. See, you just got programmed. With what? Fear. You know why you were able to get programmed? Because you got hooked. See this little J right here? You hooked. That little J. That your problem is you got hooked with a lie. Isn't that something? You got hooked with a what? With a lie. And that lie have you so hooked. Listen, you want to fight somebody. You want to cuss them out. Jesus do live. What do you mean Jesus don't live? Jesus is the Lord. The Bible says that Jesus is the Lord. But that same book that you're reading also tells you to study to show thyself approved. Workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word. And when you start researching that in the Greek, it actually means to go outside of the document that you're currently reading and do real research for data, for information that can substantiate what you're saying. Islam, same way. Y'all same way. Y'all doing the same thing. That's what religion does. Again, religion is a secondhand experience, which means one takes on another's experience as their own. You're trying to experience Jesus, but you keep having a problem. You know how I know that you keep having a problem? All you have to do is listen to the music that comes out of the church. If you listen to the music that comes out of the church, why is everybody always singing, I need you to save me? I need you to save me from myself. I'm unclean. I'm unworthy. I'm unholy. You're traumatized.
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I just got a lot of energy going. I don't care. You can throw stones, rocks, whatever you want. I don't care. But you're going to have to research this information that I'm giving you. We don't call it a truth session for nothing. We ain't up in here lying to you. I'm not up in here trying to get you to believe something that isn't true. And again, I'm not trying to make you have some invisible faith. Faith does not mean that. And everybody that tries to get you to believe that, they are lying to you. Okay. Since now we got this word up here. Look at that. Ooh, what word is that?
Lie.
Lie, right? What does the church always say?
Devil is a liar.
The devil is a what?
Liar.
Wait a minute, the church coined that phrase, right? What they say it again?
The devil is a liar.
The devil is a liar. If the devil is a liar, and then you lying about the letter J, then who is the devil? Come on, preacher man. Somebody got to call you to order. You're going to have to stop lying. Yeah, okay. So the devil is a liar. Then, but you over here lying about this letter J. You over here keep talking about this person. Person never existed. Except in an imaginary place in the theta what?
Theta realm.
In the theta realm. Hello, somebody. Okay. Where's it at? In the theta realm, because the theta realm is the lowest base of your what? Vibration. It is a place where you have childlike thinking and imagination and what? Creativity. In the theta realm. So what you do is you take and cast that right up in there. So to enter into the kingdom, come on, church folk, Christians, come on. Y'all, I know y'all out there on the timeline. Good, come on. Talk to me. You must come as a child to enter into the kingdom of where? God, or the kingdom of heaven, right? Yes, sir. You got to, hold on, y'all. Let's look at this. If we know what the theta realm is, right? Theta realm. If we know what that is and we know what's in there, right? Yes. Right?
Yes, right.
This where you put. So you can do what? Have vision. Right? Wait a minute. So that you can have vision. Come on, talk to me. Now, after you get vision, watch this here. They're going to They go television. See? Because they're messing with your imagery. They're getting in your vision realm. Right? Because you're at the lowest level of your vibrations, you cannot distinguish between the realm of reality and non-reality. They know that you're caught between, they know that you're down in the theta realm. And you haven't come out of the theta realm and come in between theta and alpha realm to be able to interpret what you imagine, what you seen, what you encountered, what was placed within you, what was programmed, what was down in your programming, right? Because all of this is about programming. So if I program a lie in you, right, you become the devil. So the church is lying to you, and they're turning all of y'all into devils. Now, you don't want to hear that, do you? But you so busy calling the drunk on the corner the devil. You too busy calling the pimp, the hoe, the prostitute, the crackhead, the devil. When you is the biggest devil. Because you know why? Because you are deceiving people. The last I checked, the devil is the deceiver. Okay. Isn't we talking about something? It's all right. It's all right. You steady lying. You're going to keep on lying. Even when you find out what the truth is, you keep telling the lie. So if you keep telling the lie, you the devil. Devil? Come on, church. Y'all got on up to that shit y'all done did. I'm going to break shit down for you too, so you can understand what shit is. Now, that's religion. Religion is a secondhand experience, which means one takes on another's experience as their own. That's religion. Now, when you get to spirituality, spirituality is going to be quite different. And I'm not through with this yet. I'm coming back to it. Spirituality is when one is taking on their own experience and is conscious that they are the one that is having it. I'll say that for you again. And then I'll get them to put it out on the timeline for you too, so that you can see it. Spirituality is when one is taking on their own experience and is conscious that they're the one that is having it. That you're conscious that this is your experience that you're having. The church cannot be conscious because they're not having their own experience. They're having a Jesus moment. Jesus is living through them. Jesus is their living life. It is impossible for that to happen because that person doesn't exist. It is your imagination. It is an imaginary friend because you're stuck in the theta realm. Again, I gave you all some examples. Theta realm is like children playing out on the playground. They have the little stick. They riding the stick. This is my horsey. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, horsey. You can't tell them that's not. You cannot tell them that that is not a horse because they cannot distinguish between non-reality and reality. Because why? They are at the lowest level of their vibrations. They're at a moment in time in their lives where they are being programmed through what? Hypnosis. You can look up Dr. Lipton. He really gives an extended understanding of that. But you're in a realm where you're in a childlike state of mind in the lowest vibrations that you vibrate at. Right? So it's the same thing, like playing with little mud pies. You can't tell that child that that's not a cake or a pie. They're playing in the mud, and to them, that is a cake.
Correct.
So the same thing. Yes, when you get into the theta realm, when you get, listen to me. Okay. You get into the theta realm, right? You get into the theta realm, bam, and you drop this over in there. Whoa. What you think's gonna happen? A child will take that and will believe within themselves that it is real. To the point that they will even get you to see that it's real. For example, children have had what? Imaginary friends when they were small children. Small children say, this is my friend, so-and-so, so-and-so. And then they say, well, you can't see her or see him? Really? They're right here. And if you watch them, they skip on off and be running around the corner playing, rolling and jumping like there's someone there. Why? Because in their belief system, they believe it. But it isn't. It isn't real. Or someone said, true. I'm trying to get you to hear me because I'm trying to break the spell that has been casted upon you and then bring you out of the hypnotic state that you're in. You're hypnotized. And you don't know it because you answer to cadence. Okay? You don't have, let me paint the picture for you then, because you ain't got to believe me. The proof is in the pudding. Let that organ start. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. What's the first thing people gonna get them to do? Why? Because it's been programmed. And then all of y'all dance alike. Hello. And then and then when you get from that high, everybody get to singing. What you know about Jesus? He's all right. You breaking the cadence down. You calming the spirit down. Why? Because you're under hypnotism. You're hypnotized. There's a spell cast on you. And see, you're funny. Because see, y'all talk about the people out there in the club. Y'all talking about the sisters stopping, popping, and dropping. Y'all doing the same thing in the church. When those cadence start, guess what? You get up, start running through the church, running over folk, running into stuff, jumping up and down without rhyme or reason. Come on, it's time that somebody articulate what you're doing so that you can see yourself, the reflection. What is your reflection? What does it look like? That's right. Then y'all talk about the sisters out in the streets and y'all sisters, y'all up in the church. Y'all got them body cons on. Man, y'all, it's woo. And then when that music hit, whoo, boy, you got that body con on and you jump up out that thing and get the popping. Yeah. But you're talking about them out there. See, we got a whole bunch of confusion. Guess what confusion does? Confusion brings about hypnosis. Dr. Eric Erickson can tell you about that. Look him up. Confusion brings about hypnosis. It hypnotizes you. It brings you into lowest vibrations of your mind where you cannot think for yourself, and then you are programmed. Okay. We're only conscious 5% of the time. Yeah, I don't think y'all hear me. We're only conscious 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, we are unconscious. What say, Kena? Oh, okay. Conscious. Yeah. 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, you're okay, so what does that mean? Huh? That means that 95% of the time you're working from a program. You have been programmed. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, and friends and everybody, listen to me. Your subconscious cannot think. Your subconscious is filled full of information that comes from the what? That comes from the programs. Okay. That's all you working with. Let me I really want I got to get this to you. The information is the programming. Somebody gonna talk to me in a minute. Let me look out here on this timeline. I see you, Harry. Harry said I don't do church. Okay. Orlean, I see you. Hey, Lorenzo. Hey, J Love. JP, what's up? I see you, Ross. Amen. Aman. And what is the so-called English language? A bastardized language from many other languages. That is correct, Sister Rhonda. Christianity in particular teaches you not to be responsible for your own actions. Just give it to Jesus. Leave it at the altar. He paid for it all on the cross. You no longer have to deal with it. That is correct. That's pure bullshit. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, yeah, we do use expletives in here. So. The elder prophet is in the house. My mentor, Prophet Lester Adams. Dr. Cassandra Lindsay, breaching confidentiality is unethical. Breaches should not occur unless it is safe, unless it's to save the life of the client or the lives of others. This is correct. This is absolutely categorically correct. Master teacher, yes. Okay. Okay. Give me just a second, family. 95% of the time, you're operating in your subconscious, right? Ninety 95% of the time, you're going to be operating in your subconscious. The point is, ain't nobody in there. Ain't nobody in there but information. But only 5% of the time are you thinking. No, you really got to hear me. So that means that only 5% of the time I'm conscious, or I'm thinking, or I'm being creative. Right? Being creative or presenting ideals at this level at 5%. 5% of the time, this is a fact. 95% of the time, we're working from information that from where we have been programmed. And it is automatic. And I'll give you an example. As Dr. Lipton gave, I'll give you an example. When we learn how to drive, we don't have to relearn how to drive. It becomes what? Habitual. It becomes a habit. We do it automatically without even thinking about it. Right? For example, we can be riding right along. Man, Doc, we rolling. You know, and we kicking it. We having a whole conversation while I'm driving, right? Just rolling right along. And then once we reach our destination, she asked me, she said, well, did you see the thing over there when we was rolling? No, I didn't see it. But all the time we're having this conversation and I'm driving without even being focused on driving. See, that comes out of this 95% realm. It's habitual. It's habit. It's your beliefs and your values that are stuck down in here from the information that you got from watching others. And note, 70% of the time, it's going to be negative. 70% of the time is going to be negative, because throughout the day, 70% of our thoughts are negative. Where you at, church? Come on, good life preacher. Where y'all at? 70% of the time. See, you haven't taken your scholarship far enough to really understand these things, because you're too busy talking about, oh, Jesus, and the devil. Oh. Okay. Yeah, boy, I'm finna get that in there, ain't it? Yeah, they're gonna be. Okay. Just take a minute and think about your thoughts throughout the day, how negative your thoughts are. And you know why? Because they have been influenced by others. You've been programmed to be negative. You've heard negative things. Negative things have been placed in your what? Your eye gates. Negative things have been placed in your eye gates and come into your ear gates and created what? Perception. What you hear will determine what you perceive. And as a child, from 0 to 6 or 0 to 7 years of age, everything that you're learning is programs. Not only are they programmed, you're being programmed, but it's through hypnosis. You're being hypnotized. You're being spellbound, which is why the church tell you must come as a child to bring you down into the Theta realm so that they can spellbound you. Yes. And then they create within you what? A belief system. Oh, okay. They create within you a belief system. I want you to look at the word. Now, B is what? First person what? B. To be. First person what? To be. To be means to exist. To come into what? Existence. Meaning that you're the first one to do it. To come into existence. Me, self, I come into existence. But look, but when I do come into existence, I'm coming into a lie because I've been programmed to believe something that's not true. So when you see this name, it's not true. So what? So when you come into being, into existence, you come into a lie. Okay, I'm going to talk to you today. I know it. So I'm going to go back and watch it and be like, oh my God, he's going to hell. I'm already in hell. And you are too. You just haven't figured it out yet. Hell and heaven and all of it is a state of mind. There's not a place that exists. You're not going out in the sky in the mansion. He said he was going to in his father's house with many mansions, and he was going. And then Islam, y'all know y'all wrong, man, telling them brothers they're going to have 7 virgins when they get to heaven. Ain't no heaven. Heaven is on the inside. You're God. God is on the inside. This is why I'm telling you there's so much trauma when you get to God centered around it. Man, it is not funny. Okay. Let me see. I see you, Brandon. Hey, Dale, what's up, man? Hey, Lou Legend. All right. That boy can handle the mic. Yeah. Okay. Let me put something else out here. Y'all all right? Everybody good? Okay. Can y'all see that? All right. If you can see that, listen to this. This is a quote from the One. It says, new truths shall emerge, bringing forth other than what we are accustomed to hearing, seeing, or experiencing. Words are, check this out, words are spirits. Words are spirits, right? We know then spirit is in what? Spirit is energy. We know this is this. Then we know this, words, those are these. Right? That's right. Okay, so if you take and put this in the theta realm, then you are inducing a person with a what? Oh, say it again. Spirit. With a spirit. You want to know how spirits get into people? With these things right here called words, because words are spirits, and we know spirit is what? Energy, which means that it becomes what? Power. Energy is what? Energy is power, isn't it? Look at all of this. All of this stuff turns right back into what? Power. Power to make things happen. That's what the Spirit is for. The Spirit is to make things happen. To make things do what they're designed to do, what they're supposed to do. Now, we know what words do. Word gives us the ability to hide or reveal. Energy. Okay? Now, here's what you have to understand. See, people are under the impression that their thoughts are only inside of their heads when there aren't. Your thoughts create what we refer to as an energy field that precedes you. In other words, we talked about a term, energosoma, the bio energy bodies that allow us to communicate with each other without even speaking words. So in other words, that means that I have the ability to come upon you and know what you are thinking without you ever saying a word. And we, in some circles, we call that the ability to prophesy, or a seer, or some type of diviner, or some type of spiritual person that has the ability to use some type of apparatus to open up some portal to get your information. Right? So all of this then, the problem that has happened is that we've been traumatized. And because we've been traumatized, what we see is distorted. Oh, shit. You're not seeing the. Now, let me be perfectly clear. Truth doesn't have anything to do with your truth. I don't care what kind of truth you got. It doesn't have anything to do with your truth. Truth has everything to do with how clear appear. How clear things appear. Then you get to the reality, or that which is what? Real. Aren't we trying to get to what is real? Yes. So the only thing that can get you there is the what? Truth. Then truth would be how things really appear. Now, child ram, theta ram. Let's go into theta ram. You can tell a child an apple is an apple, and that child will argue with you all day long and say, no, that's not an apple, it's an orange.
That's
Right? Okay. Hear me and you hear me well. You can tell that child that's an apple, but that child says it's an orange. Let me tell you why. The child has eaten an orange, know what it tastes like, right? So, because it hadn't tasted the apple, to it, the apple is going to taste just like the orange. Because it doesn't have the experience. So hence, church does the same thing. Islam does the same thing. If you haven't had the experience, they can tell you something to something when it isn't because you can't see clear. You don't know what that appears to be. You don't understand the reality of it. Right? Okay. So then, let's conclude. The truth then is how things really appear. Not based upon our truth, not based upon our perception, but because we have experienced and know an apple is an apple, an orange is an orange, a pear is a pear, and a peach is a peach. Now, we know that a peach cannot be an orange. We know an orange cannot be an apple. We know that an apple cannot be a pear. Right? Hello? Yeah, we have to start it over. Okay. Excuse me, fam. We have to start another one because I think they only give you so much time. Okay. So we know, so we can conclude, right? An apple cannot be a pear. I don't care how hard we imagine it. Yeah, so let me get you alchemists while I'm at this right here too. You are not going to change a stone into a piece of gold. I don't care how much brain power you try to, it ain't happening. That's not a reality. It's not a reality. And you're wasting brain power. Listen, our brain uses 25% of the energy of our body. Listen to what I just said to you. 25% of the energy in our body is used by our to what? Think. Hello, somebody. Or to have brain function. So just imagine every day you took 25% of your body's energy and used it for negative thought. Well, that's what's going on in the world today. That's why we're bottoming out. Because of negativity, negative thoughts, 70% of the time. And just think, 70% of the time, you got X amount of people that's using 25% of their thought processes to be negative. That's traumatic. That's trauma because trauma puts us in those regions of our mind. Because why? We've been hurt. Now, here's something that you must understand about the subconscious. The subconscious does not understand time. That is a fact.
Yes.
Now, just think. You got hurt. About how many years ago? 15 years ago. You got hurt 15 years ago. But when it turns up out of your subconscious, It's like it just happened. That's why it has the ability to take over your life. See, you have what you have are a bunch of programs running in the background. It's just continuously flipping information. And here's the scary part about it. The scary part about it is that, again, ain't nobody in there directing it and controlling it. So it's habitual. It's habit forming. So that means that whatever environment that you come into and it is conducive for a trigger, it's going to trigger that. The environment is what calls upon whatever you have experienced to come out. Excuse me, to come out. I hope I'm making sense to you. That's why it's very important to understand environment. A child is going to do whatever they see you do. They're going to be what? Programmed. They're going to be what? Hypnotized. Anything after 7 years of age is going to become habitual. It's going to become habit forming because it is a habit that was what? Programmed in you. So hence, you're going to be like your mama or your daddy. Or you're going to be like your mama and your daddy, and then anything else that you was exposed to in that environment. And here's the thing that we now know through research and through study. That you cannot cause the subconscious to think. It does not think. Yep, listen to me, fam, and y'all hear me well. The subconscious does not think. It's habitual. It only responds to that which is conducive for it to do what it's designed to do. But, however, 70% of the time, what you are releasing is negative energy and thoughts. That's why it's so easy to spot positive people. Because their energy is different. You can tell right off top that, oh my God, this energy. Right? Okay. So, okay. Now, let me get back to an earlier thought. I ain't through with you yet, Church and Islam. Y'all liars. Provocators. Now, okay, where is this particular place located? It's located where? Located in the church. Also in the Nation of Islam too. More Science Temple too. All y'all lying. Now, we know then a lie is not of the truth. Right? We know that a lie is not of the truth. So we know this is a lie. And it comes from where? Comes from the pulpit. Now, what is the pulpit? It's a compound word, right? Pull, and then pit. The last I checked, who was in the pit? The who? It's the devil down there. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Okay, now where's this place? In this place is it's where in the it's in the church. Who else in the church? He in the church, right? He in the church. Okay, and then this is in the church. So then, if that's in the church, he in the church. Then who else in the church? The devil. Isn't that something? Look at that. All come from this hook. Y'all see that hook right there? We call it a phrase when I was on the other side of town. We call it a phrase. We call it a hook. No, that's a hook right there, man. Don't demonstrate with that. That's a hook. Right? That's a hook. It'll hook you for the rest of your life and suck the brains out of your head. And you'll be walking around just as squirrely. Yes, I'm saved. I'm going to heaven. I don't sin anymore. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore. I don't party anymore. We don't go to the movies. I don't wear pants. I don't wear makeup. I don't wear lipsticks. I will not wear false nails. I will not put on any stilettos. I will not wear any sexy undergarments, underwear, anything that may provoke and be sexually incantative. I will not do it. You sound like a damn fool.
Yes.
Okay, then. Well, yes, and they married to Jesus. Right, they married to Jesus. And some of y'all probably saying to yourself, well, apostle, you a prophet? Yeah, I am. That's why I'm telling you the truth. Trying to get you out of Disneyland. Trying to get you out of the fantasy world. Trying to get you to understand that what you believe is not going to happen. There is not going to be a whole bunch of people taken up in the sky one day, just take off, whoop, and then disappear. Do you know how counterproductive that is? That you're on a plane and the pilot, he disappeared in the plane crash. That's mass hysteria and confusion. Now, what kind of intellectual being would want to create some type of chaos like that? You're not even thinking. You know why you can't think? Because you're in the theta realm. You're in the lowest realm of your ability to think and have control over your brain. Someone else is controlling it. You can't even control your own brain. You got to pray to Jesus. Jesus, please make my brain work right. Please, I thought a bad thought. Make my brain work right, Jesus. Jesus is going to make your brain work right. And you still having those same thoughts now. You told Jesus. You to rebuke your flesh. Your flesh still want to have sex. You to rebuke it. Come over here. You to rebuke your flesh. You still want to have a sippy sip. You to rebuke your flesh. You still want to smoke your joint. You to rebuke all that and Jesus still ain't fixed it. Because if you don't want that to happen, you don't want that to be a part of your behavior, then you're going to have to reprogram yourself. See, I didn't say rethink. Because see, only 5% of the time, we're what?
Thinking.
We're doing what? Thinking. Or what? Conscious. Right?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Conscious. Thinking, conscious, only what? 5% of the time. You got to understand that that's a very small portion of our ability to have brain power. That you only can do it for 5% of the time, but the rest of the time, 95% of the time, you're down here somewhere, sub. You know what the sub is? Ha ha ha. Guess what it is? 95% of the time, because one of the meanings for the number 9, it also means blessings, but one of the meanings for the number 9 is judgment. Whee, the hell is. Okay, oops. It also means blessings. Whoop, the heaven is. Whee. Then you look at number 5. One of the meanings for the number 5 is grace. Woo, bam. Ha ha. Look at that. Grace, heaven gives you grace. Then also, woo, that 5, take it over here, and then it cancels out hell. Oh my God, because you got grace. Where's it happening at? In your thinking, your consciousness. Hello? You have to stop people from deceiving you, lying to you. Okay. Somebody going. See, we don't want this kind of information. We just want some dumb stuff. Okay. I'm almost finished. I'm gonna stop. I'm almost finished. Let me get ready to wrap this up. Okay. %. Sicknesses are caused by what? By stress. Caused by this right here. Look. Stress. Isn't that something? 90% of the visits to the doctor's office is caused by stress. What does stress do?
Create trauma.
Stress is it breaks down the bone.
It does what?
It breaks down the bone.
What system is that? The immune system. Stress breaks down the and then you're most susceptible unto what? Stress. Why are we having so much stress? Because 70% of the time we're having what kind of thoughts? Negative thoughts. Okay. We're having 70% of the time we're having negative thoughts, right? Now, if we're having negative thoughts, we know thoughts, the thought is the cause of it all.
That's right.
Right? We know thought then is or are words, and we know words are what? Okay. Which is what? Energy. Wow, look at that. So now, if your thoughts are 70% of the time, right, which are words, which becomes spirit, which becomes energy, then that energy causes you to become sick. So who's making you sick? The energy that we're using, or it's the devil? It is the what? The negative what? The negative thoughts. The world over 70% of the time, not just one isolated individual, the world over is having 70% of the time negative thoughts. So that means that right now we're in a negative state of being in the cosmos. Negative energy is unbalancing the force. Stress. Okay. Three realms. Three realms that we particularly deal with. They are as follow: positive, tolerable, and toxic. I'll read it to you. Yes, yes, they are effeminizing black men. That's right, Sister Rhonda. Toxic, or positive, tolerable, and toxic stress. Positive stress. Positive, it is referred to as positive stress response. It is a normal and essential part of healthy development, characterized by brief increases in heart rate and mild elevation in hormones, okay, or hormonal levels. Some situations that might trigger a positive stress response are the first day when a new caregiver or receiving an injection or injected immunization. That's may give you a positive stress response. It's not going to be negative. The stress level is going to be positive because you want some stress, because stress also creates a hormone or a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol gives the ability to squeeze the gut, to constrict the blood vessels in the guts to be able to send blood to other areas, right? Because stress is going to put us in some cases a state of alarmness, and we'll get to that in just a second. But this is not that state. This is a positive stress response. Now, tolerable stress response, it activates the body's alert system. Here it is, to a greater degree as a result of more severe, long-lasting difficulties, such as the loss of a loved one, a natural disaster, or a frightening injury. If the activation is time limited and buffeted by relationships with adults who help the child adapt the brain and other organs recover from what might otherwise be damaging effects, because that deals with your fight and flight system. That's going to start bringing into play a whole bunch of other things, your amygdala and your adrenaline glands and all kind of other things are going to start coming into play, which is going to start secreting those chemicals that put you in a state of alarmness, where you are heightened at all times, not just because an incident happened, but you kind of stay there for a certain period of time that becomes unproductive and dangerous. Okay, now so let's get to toxic. Again, that was positive stress response, tolerable stress response, and the last one is toxic stress response. Toxic stress response can occur when a child experiences strong, frequent, and/or prolonged adversity, okay, such as physical or emotional abuse, chronic neglect, caregiver substance abuse, or mental illness, exposed to violence and/or the accumulated burdens of family economic hardship. Without adequate adult support, this kind of prolonged activity of the stress response system can disrupt the development of brain architecture and/or organ systems and increase the risk for stress-related disease and cognitive impairment well into the adult years. So you have to understand something. You have to understand 90% of the time I shared with you, when you visit the doctor's office, it is what? Stress what? Related. That means that you are in a toxic state of being. Again, prolonged activity of stress response system in the absence of protective relationships. When you get into that toxic area, it's going to keep you in a place that ultimately affects your immune system. Because what happens when that cortisol is secreted, the stress is also going to release some other hormones that are going to shut off certain portions where blood can go and send it to other areas. For example, if you're in the flight and fight mode, where's the blood going? It's going to go to your legs, and it's going to go to your arms and your hands, so you can get ready to do what? Hey, we're going to do it, baby. We either going to fight or we're going to flight. That's right. We're going to get in the wind. That's right. Okay, so now, In the meantime, in the between time, what is happening? It is shutting off your immune system. Yes, it sets it off. It sets your immune system off. Because your immune system will attack anything that comes into your body that's foreign to it. Why am I saying this? Because it is very important for us to understand, fam, that we've been so traumatized, we don't know what's going on with us. Because we're in the Theta realm talking about it's the devil. We're in the Theta realm talking about, yeah, Jesus is going to save us. Yeah, Jesus then went and prepared a place for us. Yeah, Jesus is going to put all the bad people in hell. But what about all the bad things you did and are doing, but you're confessing? Come on, it's not real. It's not real. Okay? It's not real. And I'll get to the conscious. I'll get to it. I'll get to break down the word shit for you all in the next session, because I've held you a little long. But you're going to be surprised when you see what it is. You're going to see it's a whole bunch of shit out here. Bullshit, crazy shit, ignorant shit, foolish shit, obnoxious shit, random shit, unlawful. Yeah, unlawful shit. Yeah, traumatic shit. Why am I saying this? Because it is very important to begin to understand how to reprogram us. And we're going to get into some of that too. How to reprogram yourself, because you're a product of your environment. Both internally and externally. Whatever was in your home programmed you. Whatever was outside of your home programmed you. Not all programming is bad, no. But there are certain programs that were downloaded in us that are not good for us. And one of those is religion. Religion is a program that's downloaded in you that it feels good to you, but it's not good for you. Because in the long run, what it actually does is it begins to destroy you. It sets up atrophy. What do you mean? It sets up mental atrophy. And I'm going to get to another term and introduce you guys to another term too, called hemisync. Hemisync. Hemi. Hemisync. I'll introduce you all to that term the next time. You can look it up and kind of be aware of it. Because in all actuality, I'm going to be honest with you, there's an uptick in the DJs that I deal with. My little brother I hang out with, do security and stuff for him. Well-renowned DJ Boogie, DJ Jack Cunningham, Lou Legend was in there just a little while ago. My homeboy, DJ Classy B. But the reason why I'm saying that is because they do this. Notice that they have two turntables. They call them the ones and the twos, two turntables. And what they actually do is they layer music. They blend music and layer music. But while they are doing that, they are connecting the left and the right hemisphere to give you a balanced brain, to turn your whole brain on. Now, I'll get an opportunity to talk about this. This is very important. Because it has been said that we only work in 10% of our capacity to use our brain. That used to be true until there's some studying that had been done that the only reason why we was using 10% of our brain was that the environment didn't place a demand on the rest of the brain. to turn it on, right? So now we know through different methods and things, you can turn the whole brain on and become whole. When the church is talking about, oh, I want to be made whole, Lord, what you are actually, what it's saying is, please turn my brain on so I can be enlightened, or the lighter turn on. And so that I have a balance within the right and the left hemisphere. Right? Left side controls the right hand, the left side controls the right, and the right is controlling the, and the left is controlling the right. Right feminine, left masculine. Right? Repetitive, habitual, rational. Feminine side is what? Feminine side is intuitive, empathetic, etc. So you have to balance that. You have to bring balance. You can't be over here overly emotional. Then over here you can't be over here overly rational, which is why we have so much killing. It's easy to kill because if you are left-brained, then you're going to be operating in that rational, where you can rationalize everything. You can rationalize murder. You can rationalize raping. You can rationalize abusing, right? Because why? Because there's an imbalance in your brain. We haven't understood the brain, and what we're trying to do is turn the brain on with outdated information. The church is trying to make you whole, and they don't know how to do it. Islam is trying to make you whole and don't know how to do it. Heightened awareness doesn't mean that you're not programmed. It just simply means that you're aware of some information, but it has not brought about a transformation. See, and I'm gonna quit for real. Information forms inside you. Information forms inside of you to bring about transformation. Okay. You see that little word right there? Trans. A trance takes you to a greater place of say it again? Awareness. A trance takes you to a greater place of awareness. A trance does. It takes you to a greater place of awareness so that you can catch the formation. That means the order of how things go. Things are out of order because we're being what? We're being misinformed. We're being programmed with what? Misinformation. No, that's the prefix of the word misinformed. It's the word miss, to miss. With what you was trying to do, you missed. Why? Because you had given us what? Misinformation. So when you give misinformation, you cannot bring about transformation. You can only bring about change. That's the only thing you can do is bring about change. Well, change is not a bad thing. Is it possible? No, in some instances. But in the whole scheme of things, yes, change is not so good. Why? Because things only change to remain to be the same. I'll give you an example. I don't think I have a lighter up here, do I? I'm going to give you all an example, family, because this is very important. Run downstairs real quick and grab that lighter, please. And bring me a bowl with you. Okay. Hey, Ronnie. I'm getting ready to show you all something. I'm going to give you an illustration. And then I'm through. Y'all done wore me out. Thank you, baby. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I don't need that big old piece. I'm going to set the house on fire. Okay, let me give y'all an illustration so y'all can understand change over transformation. Okay. Now, this is a piece of paper towel. Y'all see this? This is a piece of paper towel. Now, I'm going to take and ball this up. What happened? I changed the shape of it, didn't I? Y'all see that? I changed the shape of the paper towel. Look at that. You can still look at it and tell what is it. You can still look at it and say, wow, that's a paper towel, right? Okay, now, if I unball it, it's still a what? Paper towel. But if I want to take it through transformation, watch this. Now what do you see? That's transformation. That's transformation. This is change. You have to go through transformation to become the next one of yourself. Okay? To be true to yourself, you have to go through transformation. To be true to yourself. And it's time for us to transform, family. It's time for us to take on the next form of who we really are. And be who we've been called to be. And move away from all the condemnation and all of the foolishness and folly. Thank you for your time. Yes, that's right, Tammy. The physical versus the chemical change or transformation. Physical, you actually, once your energy leaves out of that body, it's going to take on a different transformation anyway. It's going to go back to carbon. Yes. Lean not to your own misunderstanding. Yeah, Ronald Jackson says manipulated. Yes, thank you, Apostle. Answer to all our questions right here, Share Fam. Hey, Mabel. To you, greetings. Truth is reality, how things really appear. This is true. Power, Lavelle says. Yes, spiritual energy. Gospel, good spell. Yeah, Apostle, the Apostle, the Master Teacher said you're making dollars and cents. Okay. Been traumatized, that's right, Sister Rhonda. And as Dr. Lindsay says, spirituality is when one is taking on their own experiences and is conscious that they are having it. That's it. That's on like a telephone. Yes. Okay. I see you, Stephen. Kiana is there. Baba, you're teaching that ice hot. They are not ready. All right. Okay. Now, as always, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it. But by all means, govern yourselves accordingly. One love, eternal light, power, peace, prosperity, and good health. Shalom Alaikum, Mishpikah. You've just finished up another truth session.